Yeah, hi, this is Jack. This is Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Billy Gibbs, who once knowingly stood in front of a Greg Norman bunker shot and got a sand wedgie.
Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. So glad you guys are with us. We're just talking about some golf drills and some fun stuff like that for those of you that actually play golf. We know we have a lot of people listening to the show that do not play golf, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy podcast at iTunes. You can catch us on Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio. You can also go to golftalkradio.com and download the Golf Talk Radio app if you want to do that. So check us out. Check out our partners like Mr. Dave Shimano across from the board from us here. He is what gets keeps the show going as well as our other partners. So we appreciate that. Appreciate everything that they do.
My honor.
Yes, awesome. So I thought I'd bring it up because we were talking about PGA Championship and what's been going on this weekend. So one of the things that I thought was really interesting is the ebb and flow of the game. It never ceases to amaze me how hard it is, especially for the guys on tour and even the gals, to sustain their game, right? The peak performance of their game. And I think golf is probably one of the hardest things to do that. Dave brought up that, being an individual sport is probably why it's so hard to sustain it.
That has to be part of it because team sports, you can be a little off your game, but, everybody else, like baseball, you got 8 other players on the field that can back you up.
Right.
But look at swimmers. They're steady. Look at tennis players, even.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing on the same court,
That's true.
They have a
I
lot
think that's a
less
big part of it,
constraints.
too.
That's a big part of it, because with golf, everything's always changing.
Yeah.
But
That's a good
even
point.
so, the fact that someone goes from winning a tournament to being cut the next week, that's a big difference.
Yeah. And I think so. I agree. I think that obviously the course is a big factor.
Well, you bet. You got short
Weather.
tight courses,
Weather.
long, wide open courses. Got where they're playing the PGA this week.
Yeah.
Those greens are so fast.
Crazy.
I don't think I'd get past the first hole.
Crazy.
I just keep going back and forth and forth and back. Yeah, geez, those greens are fast.
Well, look, a person that stuck out in part is because I'm such a big fan of this player, which is Sergio Garcia. He wins the green jacket. Then at British Open, he didn't.
He got married in it.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool.
I mean, he has a lot of life events going on. He wins the Masters, he gets married, British Open. He didn't do so hot there, and then he missed the cut here at the PGA Championship. And it's like you can go from these immense highs. Like you probably in every sport you can do that, but these immense highs, and then now all of a sudden it's like, wow, I can't make the cut. I can't make a real showing at the Open, which I know the expectations for him is that he should, and then at the championship, he misses the cut, and then you've got someone like Phil Mickelson, who was, from what I saw before Bones left, before he changes his driver,
Right.
he's playing pretty well. Heading in, and then now it's like the wheels are coming off, and I think the hardest part I could only imagine, because I'm obviously not a tour player, but the hardest part about that is not only the game, but what the media says about that,
Oh, yeah.
and not paying attention to it and staying focused on your game and staying focused with a purpose. And then if you're like Garcia or Mickelson, I mean, they've played so long, you've got all the money in the world you could ever want. So what's the driving force? The driving force as you get older, keep being the same thing. I'm just trying to perfect the game. I'm trying to be the best golfer I can, and do they lose any desire at some point?
I think you have to after a while. You can only stay so focused for so long.
Kind of like a 2-hour putting lesson.
That's a good
We're
point.
working on your focus.
Yeah, it's fluid. And I like that. I'm not complaining. I like it.
How many times have you been in the shop? Guy comes in and says, God, I played so well on the front, and then it all fell apart on the back, or the other way around. And we're just talking, those guys, it's happening to them for 9 holes or around. But the big boys, it happens to them too.
Oh yeah, and the difficulty. I think like what you guys brought up. I think the difficulty of the golf course is and the changing venues are huge.
Yeah, what's the difference between putting on Poa annua instead of Bermuda?
Mm-hmm.
Huge. I hate Bermuda greens.
I don't like them either.
And if you grew up in the South, they can't play Poa annua.
Yeah.
Or bent.
Yeah.
And they just despise it. And I cannot think of a scarier putt in the world than a 6-foot straight uphill into Bermuda.
One sport that now changes a lot between venues is baseball. Baseball fields change a lot. They didn't used to. It used to be the dome, or it used to be the circular stadium with the fences were, most of the fences were, 400 to center, 330 down the line.
Yeah.
Now you got angles. Now you got like Houston Stadium, Minute Maid Stadium's they literally have an uphill hill at the back of the center field fence.
That's cool.
It is, especially if you want to see the guy fall down as he's trying to catch the fly ball.
But you still got 90 feet between bases, 60 foot 6 inches, pitcher's mound. But basketball courts are all the same, tennis courts are all the same, golf courses, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at the difference between like the Links and Village down in Lompoc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dog leg left, dog leg left, dog leg left versus dog leg right, dog leg right, dog leg right. Big difference.
Yeah, and Avila had a lot of dog leg lefts too. Except one hole, number 13 by the road.
I'm trying to think of it.
By the road, the tee shot is not a dog leg left, and then the second shot's a real big fade if you're trying to go for the second part of the green. I was going to say, it's funny, Dave, you mentioned real quick before we go to national break, a gentleman from the men's club at Pass Rebels Golf Club, this guy John, he's awesome. He's such a great guy, and he's probably like an 8 handicapper.
Pretty good player.
Yeah, so he came in last week. He goes, man, I don't know what happened. I went out. He goes, I just shot the best round. And he looked in shock. He's like, and he came right off the course. He said, I just shot the best round I ever shot here. I go, what'd you shoot? He goes, 68. And I wanted to say congratulations, but I didn't want to say it. So I said, all right, like that. So the next day he comes out and plays. Guess what he does? He shoots 67.
Ooh.
Wow.
And I thought,
First
thing I thought after he said that, I go, the next day he comes out to play, I'm like, oh, he's in for a real hard fall.
82 coming up.
And he did. He shot like an 82.
Yep.
And he's all thinking about the 82, and I'm thinking, John, you shot 67 or 68, 67. Golf Talk Radio, we'll be right back. Stay with us.